Surrounding him are the direct and indirect gurus, deities, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Dakas, Dakinis, and protectors. In front of each of these holy beings on a faultless throne sits the Dharma explained by them in the form of texts having the nature of light. All of these beings in the merit field are in the aspect of being pleased with me. By remembering their qualities, by remembering their kindness, I feel great devotion towards them. Surrounding me, going out endlessly, are all sentient beings, all experiencing the various different types of suffering of the 6 realms, all in human form. They're extremely pitiful and crying out for help. I lead them in taking refuge. Motivation. From beginning this time until now, I and all other sentient beings have been experiencing the various general sufferings of samsara numberless times, especially the sufferings of the evil gone realms. Still it is difficult to see the end of samsara, to see the depth of suffering. At this time I've received a perfect human rebirth, qualified by the 8 freedoms and 10 richnesses, which is difficult to find, but once found is highly meaningful. It can be used to attain a good future rebirth, liberation, and even enlightenment. Now, after having met the precious teachings of the Buddha, which are so difficult to meet, if I do not try to attain the most sublime state of full enlightenment, which is beyond the state of peace in all samsaric sufferings, I will have to experience over again the general sufferings of samsara, and the particular sufferings of 3 lower realms. Who has the power to protect me from these sufferings? Only the Guru and the 3 precious gems abiding in front of me. I must achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all mother sentient beings. Therefore I am going to take refuge in my Guru and the 3 precious gems. Focusing on direct and indirect gurus, remembering each guru with whom one's made Dharma contact, with awareness 100%, meditating, looking at them as Buddha. From the heart, completely relying on the Guru, not just from the mouth, but with the whole life in the Guru's hands. Remember any particular negative karmas created in this, in beginning as past lifetimes, and with a mind of regret, purifying these 5 colored nectar beams coming from the Guru's holy bodies, purifying all of these negative karmas of ourselves and all sentient beings. So think all the negative karmas, cumulative relationship with the Holy Virtuous Friend, completely purified. All the obscurations, be able to see the Guru as Buddha, inseparable, completely purified. Then receiving all the realizations, blessings of the Guru. Oneself and all sentient beings received all the qualities and blessings from Guru. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the guidance and protection of the Holy Virtuous Friend. And focusing on all the Buddhas and purifying all the negative karmas accumulated since beginningless lifetimes with the Buddhas. Completely purified, receiving all the blessings, all the realizations. Oneself and all sentient beings come under the protection of all the Buddhas. Now focusing on the Dharma. Purify all negative actions, cumulative relationship with the Dharma, this beginningless past lifetimes. Completely purified. Receiving all blessings, realizations, understandings in one's mind from Guru devotional to enlightenment. Oneself and all sentient beings come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy Dharma. Oneself and all sentient beings now come under the protection of the Holy D focusing on all the Sangha. Bodhisattva Sangha, the Arhats, Pratyeka Buddhas, Dakas and Dakinis, Dhamma protectors, purifying all the negative karmas created in relationship with the Holy Sangha in this and beginningless past lifetimes. Oneself and all sentient beings completely purified. Then receiving all blessings, realizations of the Holy Sangha. Oneself and all sentient beings come under protection of the Holy Sangha. Then all the merit field combined. Lama yedanga sonanga sachi, Lama yedanga sonanga sachi, Lama yedanga sonanga sachi, Lama yedanga sonanga sachi, Lama yedanga sonanga sachi. Purified. Lama yedanga sonanga sachi, Lama yedanga sonanga sachi, Lama yedanga sonanga sachi, Lama yedanga sonanga sachi, Lama yedanga sonanga sachi. Received all blessings. Come under the protection. Go for refuge until I'm enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merits from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. replica of Guru Shakyamuni Buddha absorbed into you. You absorb into emptiness and arise in the form of Shakyamuni Buddha. From every pore of your holy body, light rays go out. They ripen and liberate all the beings in the hell realms, all the beings in the hungry ghosts, all the beings in the animal realms, all the beings in the human realms, all the Sur and Asura beings, all the intermediate state beings. All these beings transform into Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. The emanated beams return back and absorb into you. Feel great joy, thinking, now I have freed all beings from suffering and have brought them to a state of perfect happiness. Then realizing in reality this is just visualization, sentient beings are still suffering because they still have the delusions and karma that cause the suffering in their mind streams. Therefore, I must free them from this. Therefore, I'm going to generate the Four Immeasurable Thoughts. First of all, reflecting on the harm of the self-cherishing thought. This self-cherishing thought has been extremely harmful to myself since beginning this rebirth, and also to others. My self-cherishing thought not only interferes with ultimate happiness and liberation, but also with this life's happiness and peace. Even each moment's happiness and peace is disturbed because of my self-cherishing thought. Not only that, but this self-cherishing thought will continually torment me, continually harm me forever. It will never allow me to achieve ultimate happiness and peace until I have destroyed it. Then visualizing, taking all the disturbing emotional thoughts, all the anger, attachment, hatred, and all the other disturbing emotional thoughts of all sentient beings onto oneself, onto one's own self-cherishing thought, and destroying it. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were to abide in equanimity, free from hatred and attachment, not holding some close and others distant. May they abide in equanimity. I myself will cause them to abide in equanimity. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were to abide in equanimity, free from hatred and attachment, not holding some close and others distant. May they abide in equanimity. I myself will cause them to abide in equanimity. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. Self-cherishing thought completely destroyed, then generating loving kindness for all sentient beings, doing the practice of giving happiness, visualizing a body transforms to wish-fulfilling jewel, and from this infinite form sent out in all directions, granting whatever happiness is needed by sentient beings, not just temporary happiness, but the main one is liberation and enlightenment. The main happiness that we wish for others is the lasting happiness of liberation and enlightenment. So giving this to every single sentient being in all 6 realms. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings had happiness in the cause of happiness. May they have happiness in its causes. I myself will cause them to have happiness in its causes. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings had happiness and the causes of happiness. May they have happiness and its causes. I myself will cause them to have happiness and its causes. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. Taking on suffering, the whole package of suffering from all sentient beings, into self-cherishing at one's heart, destroying it. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they be free from suffering and its causes. I myself will cause them to be free from suffering and its causes. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they be free from suffering and its causes. I myself will cause them to be free from suffering and its causes. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. Shinto completely destroyed. Then giving away all the 3-time merits and all the results of these, both temporary and ultimate happiness, including enlightenment, giving everything to all sentient beings. They receive whatever they need, whatever they want. Whatever they need is the Guru and teachings. What they want is all the usual things that bring happiness. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were never separated from the happiness of higher rebirth and liberation. May they never be separated from these. I myself will cause them never to be separated from these. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were never separated from the happiness of higher rebirth and liberation. May they never be separated from these. I myself will cause them never to be separated from these. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. So over the page. Rinpoche, motivation, special motivation.
end of each Four Immeasurable prayers. And this one we're meditating, what just now is done. one way meditating with the Four Immeasurable Thoughts. Related with the tong-len, taking giving, so that makes much more powerful. Then at the end it might be good to think generated the immeasurable thought of the equanimity with oneself and also living, and the next one at the end generated the received the realization, immeasurable of kindness with oneself and also living, and also immeasurable the compassion with oneself and all sentient beings. The next one generated immeasurable the thought of joyfulness with oneself and all sentient beings. And the end to conclude with that might be good. So whenever we do the generating the immeasurable thought of the loving kindness, in the mind, happiness, what you think, shouldn't think just what common people think happiness, which means just ordinary happiness. Shouldn't think just that. That's very limited. That's just only suffering. So other mean you think all the happiness in the mind up to enlightenment, all the happiness, or at least, or just think in the heart, think enlightenment. That's what is what need to be achieved, most needed, what need to be achieved for sentient beings. So we recite the word happiness, but in the heart, think enlightenment. So that's very good. Wishing that for something. Otherwise, we just think. Normally, when we say happiness, only ordinary happiness, commonly, don't think of liberation and enlightenment. And normally, when you think happiness, just ordinary pleasure, so shouldn't have just that thought. Just make sure, and just emphasize it's not in case somebody think of ordinary pleasure, then shouldn't think on that. That's so just to emphasize. So here I want to say something that usually Tibetan, there's no these explanations. Just go straight to the prayer. And then individually they study the commentaries, so they don't do this all elaboration. All clarifying visualization, this and that. Just go through the straight. So that's why they can finish so many prayers in short time. So they get done so many prayers. But here in the West, I think because they are not familiar with the practice, and normally don't study much those commentaries. And before there's no commentary exist before. Now it's coming more. Especially for my students. So So therefore, just do the prayer is difficult to, without some explanation what it's for, and how to do without explaining the meditation, become kind of dry, and especially if there's no faith. A lot to do with the faith. If there's faith, then you feel meaningful. But if there's no faith, then it just become then it becomes then just become the parrot. Parrot recite on the tape recorder, or the tape recorder. You put the tape inside the tape recorder. The tape. With the battery, it makes noise. Of course, that's one way of saying. But it's of course, if you think of leaving positive imprint and Dharma, and then whole life reading novels, and whole life reading novels or the books, about people's attachment, people's anger, all the stories of anger, killing and attachment. I mean, all these stories, and watching TV all life, all that about story about attachment, story about anger, the whole life. I mean, it's basically that, whole life. The typical story of attachment, story of anger, jealousness. That's it. The essence is that. So, I mean, if you think how much we're reading materials in the whole life, that's nothing. Yeah, that is nothing. Just only negative imprint of mind. Nothing. Only negative imprint of mind. That's nothing good. Only leaving negative imprint. Only negative imprint, and then cause it to rise anger, attachment while you are reading, and also in the future from these negative imprints. But if you compare that, all that, what do we do in the life, or what other people do in their life, that in the one time reciting Guru Puja, even you don't know what you're saying, even you don't know the meaning, you see the huge differences between sky and earth, the benefit, what you get, just reading the Dharma, just reading the Dharma text, Buddha's teaching, omniscient one's teaching, no mistakes, liberating sentient beings from the oceans of sometimes suffering caused. Just even you don't know, just reading it, those philosophical teachings, even you don't know about, even you don't know it, if you have no idea at all what it's talking about, but just reading, keep on reading, the benefit is, sky's the benefit you get in sky. Sky's the benefit you get, not in sky, not in the sky. Sky's the benefit you get on the mind, on your mental continuum, not in the sky, not in the sky, not in the sky. So I made a mistake. So anyway, of course, like that, huge differences. Unbelievable. Anyway, if you think of all the stories and benefits, but we see. So therefore, so there's differences. You should have the Tibetan. They receive commentaries. You see. Then of course, I mean, it depends on the individual side. I mean, many they of course study. Many they heard during the teachings, but then, I mean, just like me, you see, then nothing. You see, just heard in the teachings. So, I mean, not much applied, not remembered from the prayer. So anyway. So that So one has to understand the situation. But a lot of the devotion, like Chinese or Tibet or China, Chinese, like in the Sri Lanka, Burma, then those, because of too much devotion, even they don't understand. You see, like our chant, those long mantras, many hours, read sutras, many hours. You know, it's not talking about sangha, it's about lay people. Those old people, you know, old fathers, mothers, they chant for many hours, standing or even by standing. So a lot through the devotion. So because of devotion, then you don't get tired. You know, strong devotion. So and you receive so much blessing because of the devotion. So when there's no devotion, and then you look for intellectual. You are dependent on intellectual understanding, but there's no refuge. Actual cause of the refuge in the devotion there. Then it's become kind of uneasy, you know. So even to do one prayer becomes difficult because it becomes like traditional. It appears as tradition. There's no meaning. So that, but in reality, it's not just that. What do you think? It's a tradition. There's no meaning. Any prayer, you know, any mantra, any prayer. I mean, any mantra that has complete path to enlightenment. You know, all the Buddha's qualities, whole body, whole spirit, whole mind, in the Om, that's the whole path. You see, like that. So that makes it to purify and to receive all the blessings and realizations. So any verse is vague. Just think of the refuge. You know, the Sanje Chudam Soge Chunam La Chanjo Padu Dan Gyapsu Chi. So that then that comes the whole path from enlightenment. You see, whole path from enlightenment. If the Four Noble Truth, the typical path, you know, Four Noble Truth, all things, true path, true decisions, the whole path becomes. Then the whole mind path, the whole tongue path comes. Everything comes there. And one told Dharma. Then all the Buddha's qualities, you know, immense, like limitless skies, subjects like limitless skies. All the sanghas qualities, different levels of sanghas, you know. The recited path sangha, then Mahana, the sangha, you know, Bodhisattvas, then Tantra, you know, the sanghas, there is all Tantra realizations, you know. Realization stage, then completion stage, those 5. So, just a refuge. It's just a refuge within the refuge. Whole entire Buddhism comes 84,000 teachings. You know, all the Buddha teachings that just come there. You know, so it's very. Just even just this first one, Sanje Chunam La. Very, very. That's whole like limitless skies, the subject is like that. Each one, Sanje Chöpa, so that. Of course, comparing back to many years, not much, of course, you know, heard more Dharma, practiced, of course, there's much more devotion now developed, not like many years back. So there's much more, the total Dharma is deeper. Those who have been studying or doing practice or whatever they can. For many years, thought of Dharma is much, much deeper than before. So of course, that. So that's really incredible, amazing, development. That Western student mind that for many years, listening, teaching, reading, doing practice, whatever one can. You see, and so total Dharma is much deeper. Also the devotion, those who have been, involved in Dharma. One hell being. So part one receive all the one part, numbers past happening, present, future happening. Also think of the mother and the kind. So you can bring the reasoning, the reasoning why one should cherish others, and the cause of taking responsibility on yourself, liberty, in a special attitude, taking responsibility completely on yourself, liberating other sentient beings, from all the suffering caused. So basis, which is from that bodhicitta comes total seeking, total seeking the works of others, and then total